Keke Palmer discusses her sexuality with Raven Simone. Keke Palmer discusses accepting and loving all parts of herself. The Nope star, 29, discussed publicly embracing her sexuality in a recent interview with Raven Simone and her wife, Miranda Mattei, on the Best Podcast Ever with Raven and Miranda. "There was a point in my life when I was like, can I be myself?" Palmer stated. "You just get to the point where you're like, well, I just want to have my own life be my own life," she continued. The waiting singer has long been open about her sexuality, describing herself last year as in the middle of the scale during a podcast interview. During her recent interview with Raven Simone, who publicly came out in 2013, Palmer said she began forming an awareness about her sexuality from a young age. "I felt that way or had those thoughts I think very young, right, as a kid, when you first start thinking about liking," she said. "And then I think at like 12 or 13, they started coming back as a teenager, when you really start kind of getting into your groove. With that growing awareness came a fear of judgment or ostracization." Palmer recalled being deeply affected when Ellen DeGeneres' sitcom, Ellen, was cancelled not long after DeGeneres publicly came out as gay in 1997. "I never forgot that," Palmer remarked. "I never forgot that as a kid, and that kind of stuff just stings your brain, like, oh, you'll be outcasted, or something's quote-unquote wrong with you." Palmer stated that her parents never disparaged LGBT people or told her that she would go to hell for being gay. Nonetheless, Palmer stated that she felt something unspoken that made her hesitant to talk publicly about her sexuality. "Because she was attracted to men as well, she tried to push aside her attraction to women. Because I like guys too, it was like, that's another little extra thing that no one really has to know about. I don't really have to live out," she said. When she did start opening up more about her sexuality, Palmer says her parents supported whoever she wanted to date. "Sexuality and stuff like that. My parents never really cared about stuff like that or talked about that," she said. "And I know that by the time they saw how free of a spirit I was, and whoever I wanted to date, they were kind of like, whoever cares. It was never anything that was in their mind." Palmer said her desire to find love helped her more openly embrace her sexuality. "I didn't want anything to hold me back from doing it," she explained. "Ultimately, I just feel like accepting that part of myself in general was a part of my process of actually being able to have love in my life," she continued. "I accept and love every aspect of myself." Palmer and fitness instructor Darius Jackson welcomed their first child, Ladies, in February. Jackson received fire earlier this month after publicly criticizing Palmer's latest dress choices.